everyone, it's Kathy Zilski. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Some people don't love traditional Christmas greetings. If you are one of those people, I got you. Some people like a little sassier tone, and to that end, I designed a brand new stamp set called Sassy Christmas. The greetings are a little sassy, and I think they're kind of fun, and I've got two really fun card projects to share with you next that demonstrate the stamp set. Stick around, those sassy Christmas card projects are coming up next. So here's a look at my sassy greetings. This is actually called Sassy Christmas. There are stamps and coordinating dies, and you know, sometimes you just want to be sassy. These bells ain't gonna ring themselves, you catch my drift. Let's be naughty and save Santa the trip. All I want for Christmas is one silent night. I know some of you out there, you know, you can relate to that. All I want for Christmas is just 8 uninterrupted hours of quiet. Only visit people once a year. Santa's a genius. That's for my introverts out there. Naughty or nice? How cute would that be on a tag? You know, some people are going to get the naughty check. Let's get merry, which I think is super fun. Santa is watching. That's not creepy at all. General Merry Christmas, and Santa is watching. He knows what you did. Maybe I've been watching too many horror movies this year. But anyway, that is sassy. That's Sassy Christmas. I think it's fun. And of course, the coordinating dies will cut out all of these greetings that are the larger ones. So if you're a person who likes to cut out greetings, I've got you covered. I'm also going to pull in this little geometric snowflakes. Not only do I have an idea for dry embossing, but I also have an idea for ink blending. So you know how I like to roll. I like to start out with something very simple. So let's make a very simple card to start, and then we'll go from there. Funny story, I just filmed myself stamping and die cutting these. And I wasn't recording, you know, so let's start it over. I just want you to see the process, because now I'm going to have extra greetings. Sometimes with the software that I use, you think it would be as simple as just hitting play and record. And in theory it is, except when you forget to hit record. So the process, so simple, doesn't even have to be straight, right? You're just picking this up, and this is a piece of blue cardstock. I think it's Blue Lagoon, and it's Gina K color. It's literally my last piece. I just went and looked for a fresh sheet to try to pretend like I didn't mess up, and guess what? It's all I have. So Mama needs to place an order with Gina K today. All right, inking up, stamping, right? Bringing in my stamp press. This thing, has helped my wrist so much. I have wrist and finger issues from time to time, and boy, it makes a huge difference. Now I'm going to position this right back into place, and I'm going to stamp it again to get a great greeting impression. I do love these. Love a sassy holiday. All right, pressing that down, and that is the process of the stamping. Isn't that nice though? Even just the tone on tone. That's kind of cool. As I am filming this, we are having an unseasonably warm stretch in October. And I live in Minnesota, so anyone who is at all familiar with the type of weather we get here, when it's nice in October, we smile and say thank you. All right. Maybe if I'm quiet enough, you can pick up some of the rain, and this will become like an ASMR craft video. And then I can do more whispering. Okay, we're just going to tap that off. Ooh, that looks good, doesn't it? I'm going to take one of my angled brushes that are wonderful for getting little pieces of powder away. In fact, I have 2 of them now. I have this 1/4 inch one, which is really nice just for getting close if there's powder that sticks. And I don't know if you've ever stamped something and there's all this extra powder and it frustrates you. An angled shader is nice because these bristles are firm and they don't splay out as long as, you know, you're gentle. And you can just wipe away the powder like that. And we'll get our heat tool and melt the powder. All right, look at that. Wow, those look even better than the first ones that I did. So I am going to go ahead and bring in the coordinating dies. And the one thing that's kind of nice about this die set, these are cut to be a little more generous. I'm going to take that tape off so I can line it up. So these are very easy to frame out. You don't even really need a template, although I need to take the tape off when I'm doing this. And we'll just get them lined up like that. Sure, that looks good. Press down, hold that in place because I don't want that to move. All right, let's grab the die cut machine. And like I said, I think these stamped better than the first round, and that's just gonna happen with your stamps. Photopolymer stamps get more conditioned over time and just stamp better and better and better. So let's pop you out, boop, and boop. Oh, look at those cute greetings. Okay, now I'm going to move on to an idea I have for embossing. So I'm going to take my plates completely out of the machine, and I'm going to position the embossing mat right onto the platform. Because I think what would be cute is to take this piece, which I have trimmed down. I think this is 3 3/4 by 5, just a nice panel size for my card. And of course, I'm going to be putting this onto a base. I want to dry emboss this pattern right into the panel. And here's what's kind of cool. If I play my cards right, pun intended, I want to try to center this so that I have a frame that's a strip on either side. See that there and see that? Oh, well, now I keep mucking it up. I'm going to want to tape this because I don't want it to shift. And now we are going to impress this geometric snowflake pattern into the paper by putting the embossing plate on top. Dry embossing is one of my favorite ways to just step up a card, but to do it in a very simple way. I like to go back and forth. Sometimes if I'm not getting a good enough impression, I'll add a shim, but most of the time this is enough pressure. And the other thing that I do is if I'm embossing on white cardstock, did that work? Oh, it did. I will use 80 pound. Now look at how fun this is. Because 80 pound will take the pattern a little bit better. Did I get ink on there? Oh my gosh, I got something on there. But look at the cute impressed pattern and the frame all the way down. I'm just going to bring in my little mono sand eraser. Oh, it's not anything at all. Okay, there was just a piece of schmutz. Okay, moving on. So for my card base, I'm actually going to make this a side folding because I had a piece of cardstock sitting here. Most of my cards are top folding. That's mostly out of habit. So I'm scoring this at 4 1/4. I have nothing against side folding. I just usually cut my cardstock so that I have mostly top folding, right? So we'll press this down like that. Give that a good press. So I had a little moment here where I wasn't sure if I loved the edges that are on here, right? So I am gonna go ahead and cut this down right. Let's see, do I have the right? I think I have the right cut that will trim it exactly how I want it. So I'm gonna do that off camera just to get rid of those little side strips, and then I'll just have my embossed pattern on the panel. Now I have my fun little tone on tone embossed pattern, right? We're gonna take that off like that. And I'm gonna pop this up right onto the card base. And you'll see it has this wonderful, generous margin of space around the sides and the top and the bottom, which I love on my card projects because it's just, you know, it's like a frame for your masterwork. And then I'm gonna take these bells, ain't gonna ring themselves. I just have one little piece of tape here on the back. I'm going to pick this up, and actually I am going to put a little liquid glue on the back. I just like to have a little bit of wiggle room so that I don't mess it up, you know, because foam tape is going to stick so hard where you put it, but if you put a little liquid glue on, like Connect glue, gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So let's just position that in the center like that. Right? These bells ain't gonna ring themselves. Okay, let's make sure. I think that looks really straight, doesn't it? Okay, and now let's get a little shine on there. I'm gonna use these for a change. These are the Little Things Ice Crystal Sequins Mix. Now I use confetti a lot, but I like this set from Lucy's Cards because there are 3 different sizes of sequin, and I think that would look very nice here, you know, just to have the 3 kind of cascading around. Do I want to do the 3 and 3 or do I want to do the 5? Well, let's give it a whirl and see. I think 5 would be fine. I don't think we need to go any higher than that, right? Simple, simple, simple. So let's pick up that friend and and then, well, I booped it, but it totally went down on its own accord. Boop. Let's try this. Picking you up. And boop. Love it. Oh, my glue's coming. The glue's a-flowing. It's getting towards the end of the bottle, and I feel like there's just a little bit of air pressure in there. So a little bit of glue and little tuck in. Boop. Like that. I like to tuck one under. It just gives it a nice little visual connection. And in fact, you know what? I got a little much on that, but let's see. Oh, flip it. Flip it. Come on, boop. I'm having boop issues today. It's going to happen. Boop. There we go. And get you out of the way. And pick you up. And boop, boop, boop. Come on. See, that's why I love the confetti, because they give you that center to press into. But that's card 1, right? It's so simple. I love this. But I'm going to take this little friend and let's do something for card 2 with this, but ink blending. So I'm going to do a little ink blending. I've got my new Waffle Flower stencil mat, and I've got my 3 colors of ink from Simon's Stamp, because I think these are going to work with that greeting, but we'll find out. And also, I'm going to stamp on the inside of the other card, but I'm kind of working out of order here. Tape it right down here and come over here and tape it right down. Now this might be a stencil that would actually benefit from pixie spray, but I don't feel like spraying pixie spray on. I'm gonna roll the dice here and see if I just get this as I want this to be. I'm just gonna give my brush a little once over on a paper towel just to make sure that whatever I was using last, and this is one of my Simon's Stamp brushes, and I'm just gonna do a blend. And start adding some color. And I really just want this to have just a pretty tone. I'm using a light hand. You know, I'm not too worried about being too fancy. I'm just going over this very lightly, coming in from the outside. And I am using a light hand, right? I don't want to get underneath any of the flakes. I just want to create a little tonal variety. Really just want it to be kind of a mishmash. In fact, I'm going to come in here and come out from the outside. And I am going to be trimming this down, right? I'm going to trim this panel down. So again, how I bring in the colors is sort of irrelevant, okay? I'll tap a little here just so we're not too blue. Just kind of come in over here a little bit, right where and we'll just see. We'll just see what this looks like. Tap a little here. Come over here. This is a darker blue. This one is Surf. And I think this is actually very, very tied into that color. So I love that. But again, we're just playing. Just kind of playing. We're going to see what happens. Okay. Maybe come over here. That's the thing that's fun with stencils. I'm going to bring in the 3rd color, which is Ocean. And I'm actually going to take my darker brush here because I don't want I want to be able to come back and go lighter if need be. But see how much darker that color is? All right, we're just going to come in here with a little ocean. The fun part about the stencil is you just don't know what you're going to get until it's done. And I love that. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not doing anything that's transitioning or blending. I just wanted, and I'll take this and go back over. I just wanted to see what would happen if I just created a panel that had a little light and a little dark running through it. All right. And of course, this ink dries back quite smooth. And so let's see what it looks like. Ooh, isn't that pretty? So you have a little tone, a little dark, a little light. All right. I'm going to get this area cleaned up and we're going to move on. And I think this is going to match perfectly. Isn't that cute? So I wanted to show you something. I have both the Waffle Flower A2 Layers dies, and on the back side of my magnet, this is the additional layers dies. Sometimes you need the additional layers dies sizing because it's just like going to give you the next size down. And well, you know what? I did cut the other one using the additionals. I wasn't sure. And I think I pulled the wrong one off. So I am going to take one, let's pop it out here, from the additionals. Because then I know I'm going to easily get the clearance and the crop that I want. See that? Because this stencil is a slimline stencil, right? For slimline cards. But that doesn't mean if something's just for slimline, you can use it for, you know, anything that you can size accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out off camera using my die cut machine. I have an idea for the greeting. I want to keep it, or the sub greeting I should say. I want to keep this really simple. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this in silver. I'm going to pop this up right here. And when I bring this down, I'll just take a peek. Is that lined up? S and S. You know what? That's the beauty of the Misty. I think it's going to be good enough. So I'll take this out of the way, take my embossing magic, and I am going to go all over this because this ink has a higher viscosity than some inks, so it takes a little longer to dry, right? Versamark ink. I don't want to stamp this more than once though, so I'm just showing you how much ink I'm pressing in here because I just want this to be not super squished down. Going across, letting the ink transfer. Like that. This is my ultrafine silver, so let's just sprinkle it on and see what happens. Oh, I think I did good. And I did let the powder definitely helps this to fall off. There you go. So now I have the and save Santa the trip. Foam strips on the back of this panel, which also helped to flatten it out a little because it got a little warped from the embossing. And then let's just pop this down again right in the center. That nice framing margin space. Oh, I'm loving this. Just a couple little dobbies there, just so it will move. And actually, I'm going to pick it up from the top so that I can see the placement, make sure I don't obliterate. But this is nice because then I can get it as close as I want it and pop it right there. Let's be naughty and save Santa the trip. Now, of course, I think this would be fun. So I found one of my confetti style sequin dealios here. And let's try something. I'm just going to dump these on the table because I have sequins in my other one right now. I think I want to just take the medium-sized ones and maybe just pop a few, or maybe I do want the smaller ones. Maybe just pop a few, get off there, into the openings where the pattern intersects. How fun is that? Like just in front of, or in the center. And again, I want them to be kind of the same size. Like that. Maybe one down here. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll do 5. I mean, you could do it in every single one. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to fill the center pattern. Let's boop it up. and they're all the same size. So let's go, boop, push you in the middle, okay? I love how that's just right, boop, in the center of each little friend. Oh, that's a lot of glue. Boop. That's fine. We'll be fine. And just touch it down. Oh, boop. That's a lot of glue, but it'll be okay. My glue's a-flowing. Boop. And down here. That is so fun. You know, you could fill the whole thing, but the reason I'm not going to is because this guy kind of over intersects in there, but that's my finished card too, with a little shine right down the middle. How fun is that? So here are both side by side. One has the ink blending and one has the dry emboss, but both have sassy greetings. And I think sometimes with the sassy greeting, you don't have to over design, right? This is funny. These bells ain't gonna ring themselves. And of course, then I could take You Catch My Drift and stamp it on the inside, right? Right in the center. In fact, why don't I do it? Let's get a block. Something that I'm gonna stamp with a block. I'm going to open up my card. Let me open this up for you. And I'll take magnets like that, and they'll hold my card open while I'm stamping. And then I think what I'll do is I think I'm just going to stamp the mid-tone blue, and hopefully this will be fine. This stamp is not super conditioned, so I could do a couple practice inkings first. Let's take a little sample here and just go ink you up. Press you down. Oh, I think this will be fine. Ink up my stamp lightly like that. So we have a good coating, and then just go right in the center, press, and lift. You catch my drift. So now I have a cute little greeting on the inside, where on the outside it says, these bells ain't gonna ring themselves. You catch my drift. And that is the finished card. So 2 cards, both using the Sassy Christmas plus that wonderful stencil. I will have all of the supplies for these cards linked below the video. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.